The temperatures in the room are rising. Everyone is opposing your viewpoint vehemently. How do you handle those situations so you can calm down the temperatures and have a productive conversation? That's exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video. My name is Aditya Guthey, speaker and a career performance hacker for engineers. One of the strategies to having more productive conversation is just by being respectful to others and not raising your voice. There could be many such strategies that you can employ, which might or might not work. But in these videos, we will go a little deeper than that. Because when you go deeper, you will understand why people raise their voice in heated conversations. And that will help you understand the fears and motivations behind why people say what they say. So you can make a different choice and have a more productive outcome. Going deeper to understand the root motivations and to understand the game that plays inside our heads is called the inner game of communication. The fundamental reason why people raise their voices is because they're not feeling heard. And so they want to raise their voices. In response, you might also be inclined to raise your voice because you are not feeling heard, and so you want to raise your voice. And suddenly we are in this situation where the conversation is not moving forward because just people are trying to express themselves and no one is trying to hear. This situation is similar to the concept of a deadlock in computer science. The inner game that plays inside our head during heated conversations is that I am not being heard, so let me raise my voice so I can be heard. Now that you understand the reason why people scream at each other during heated conversations, now you got to the root cause. So you can make a better choice, and that can lead to a more productive conversation. A simple tactic to make the other person feel heard is by simply repeating what the other person said. This way, the other person will feel heard and so will be more open to hear your viewpoint. Let's consider an example. Engineer A thinks software A should be the priority, and engineer B thinks software B is the priority. So engineer A goes like, we should implement software A because of reason blah 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 blah. Software B, no, we should do software B because of so and so reason, and I will keep going telling reasons until you agree why software B is the highest priority. See how each person keeps arguing about things and it won't go anywhere. However, if engineer A says, just repeats, uses this tactic of repeating what engineer B says, he would be like, so Mr. Engineer B, you're saying software B is the highest priority because of so and so reasons. Is that correct? Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. And so now software B, engineer B will be like, now, so you are saying software A is the highest priority for these reasons? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying too. You now see the energies for both these guys have calmed down, the temperature has calmed down, and now they're more willing to listen to others. This is one of the best tactics that you can use to help clear other person's energy and to make other person feel heard, so they are also more inclined to help you out, to listen to your voice. So this is a terrific strategy that can work miraculously if you implement it. Simply repeat what the other person said. Well, that is not enough, because here at Inner Game of Communication, we go much deeper than that, because when you go deeper, it will create more lasting results. So how deeper can you go, right? So what's a deeper level? The reason why we often don't want to hear to others is because we fundamentally believe that my opinion is the right opinion and the other opinion is the wrong opinion. There is a judgment that I am right, you are wrong. That there are certain things that are right in the world and that there are certain things that are wrong in the world, and this should have not be done. And when you're coming from a place of that judgment, it is hard not to raise your voice and try to make your voice heard, because you fundamentally believe that what you believe is the right thing, right? Hold on. We just went level deeper to understand the deeper reason why people have heated conversation. Okay? The first level reasoning is because you are not being heard, the other person feels not being heard. So the tactic there is to acknowledge and validate what the other person says by repeating what the other person says. And when you go a little deeper than that, it is having some kind of a judgment that somehow you are right and the other person is wrong. And the way to handle that is coming from a place of non-judgment. What does that mean? Being non-judgmental fundamentally means that your opinion is not the only right opinion, that the other person's opinion also matters. So be curious to understand why the other person thinks the way he thinks. Why does engineer B say software B is the highest priority? Be curious to understand, really get deeper to understand what is motivating him to think that software B is somehow a high priority. Maybe he has a piece of information that you don't have, or maybe he is missing a piece of information that you might have about software A, so you can share. But unless you get curious and become non-judgmental to try to understand the other person's perspective, you can never listen 100% and make a conscious decision as to whether software A is a high priority or software B is a high priority. So, in summary, there are a lot of strategies you can use on how to temper down the temperatures so we can have more productive conversations. But at Inner Game of Communication, we said we go deeper to understand why people say what they say. And what we understood at the first level, people just want to be heard, so they are raising their voices to be heard. In that case, just acknowledge and validate. Repeat what the other person says so the other person feels heard. And so now you can also communicate when the other person feels heard. And we went a little deeper than that in this video, and the deeper level is being non-judgmental, so that you fundamentally believe that your opinion is not the right opinion, but also others' opinions also matters. When you can do that effectively, right, you will come from a place of curiosity and ask more questions to understand the other person's viewpoint, to understand what you are missing that the other person might have, or what might the other person be missing that you might not have. And when you can go deeper and understand the root cause, it will create strong foundation. And when you understand the root cause, you can create new results. And that's the main benefit of going deeper, which we call it here as Inner Game of Communication. Thank you for watching this video. Comment below to share your thoughts on what strategy you would like to implement in a heated conversation.